Hello everyone, I'm back. I'm 23 minutes late and I'm desperately sorry. No, deeply sorry, not desperately. Either way, I'm sorry. And I wouldn't want you guys to be missing it for the world. So, we'll try something. We'll see if I can hear the audio. Finally have a headset that can work really well. There we go. Strange. Doesn't seem like it's working. Oh well. I just wanted to see if I could hear the truth. I'm gonna chat with you guys for a bit. How's everyone doing? Well, I will say this, something that did catch my attention. I was looking at my YouTube channel, which, if you didn't know I have one, I have one. Same name. Well, not really, it's just called Eclipse. Okay, it's one of the closed 20 Eclipse 03. Fair enough. But, my test stream, the thing that's supposed to just show that my OBS was working a bit, is my second most viewed video, which I find strange, rather. And I see a Avowed is kicking up again, but then again, I'm just small. So, who knows? Ah, spooky story time. I was at Spooky Scare Sunday. What's not Sunday, nor is that my thing. But, I can react to the things that you guys send me now. I can react to it on YouTube. So, that's great. I still just need to get it. On that! No! Sorry. No. It is fun to see what things do. We'll be back at it again with user Haunting Minute 5103. Back with their stories again for the reason being that they're still the only person who's given me permission to narrate their stories. I do wish to narrate more, and I do like the idea of being able to narrate more. So here we are. Back with the horror story. Okay, sit down. Sorry, that's my girlfriend in the background. Let me just... my apologies, I didn't... I didn't think how loud she'd be. I just motioned her to turn it down. No. Have you heard of the story? My new roommate won't stop knocking on my door at night. He moved in 2 days ago. Jesus Christ. I met Andrew through a Facebook post. I needed a roommate fast, and he messaged me 5 minutes after I posted the local housing group. No profile picture, no mutual friends, but he said all the right things. Said he had a stable remote job, no pets, quiet, clean, respectful. I FaceTimed him once. He seemed normal, a little awkward, maybe, but I didn't care. I needed rent. He moved in on Friday. By Saturday night, I wanted him out. The first red flag was the way he unpacked. He brought 4 boxes, that's it. No bed, no decoration, not even a backpack. The boxes were taped tight, and he carried them one at a time, always holding them away from his body like they might bite. I offered to help. He didn't answer, just smiled. Then took the last box into his room and shut the door. I didn't see him for the rest of the day. Around midnight, though, I heard him whispering in there. Couldn't make out the words. It sounded like a prayer, or maybe a list. Didn't stop until 3 in the morning. The next morning, I went to make coffee. The kitchen was spotless. My cereal box was in the fridge. My coffee beans had been alphabetized, and there was a note on the counter in blocky, perfect handwriting. I replaced their sponge. The old one had too many eyes. I stood there staring at it for a full minute. Then I opened the cupboard. New sponge, bright yellow. And the floor beneath the sink, the old one, soaked, covered in black mold, I swear wasn't there the day before. The middle was ripped open, like it had teeth. That night, I locked my bedroom door around 2:11 a.m. Around 2:11 a.m., I heard footsteps outside. Slow, barefoot, careful. And then a knock. Not a loud one. Passive. Two soft taps. I didn't move another. I didn't move. Another knock. 3 times this way. Slightly faster. Andrew? I asked. No reply. I checked the people. No one was there. When I opened the door, the hallway was empty, but another note was taped to the wall. Don't answer the third knock. She gets impatient. I didn't sleep after that. I confronted him the next day. He was sitting in the living room facing the blank TV. When I asked him what the note was about, he blinked slowly and said, "Heard her, didn't you?" Heard who? She doesn't like being seen too soon. It ruins her. Then he turned back to the blank TV, smiling. I backed into my room and locked the door. That night I heard him whispering again, not to himself this time. I could hear the difference. He was answering someone, listening, nodding between each line. I pressed my ear to the wall. His voice came through clear. "She wants to know your name," he said. "She wants to wear it." I stopped sleeping in my apartment after that. I stayed at a friend's for a night. No calls, no messages from Andrew. But I got a voicemail. No number, just a note. 30 seconds of breathing, then whispering, then right before it ended, my own voice saying, "Let me back in." I hadn't said that. I came home the next day, planning to kick him out, tell him to pack up his 4 boxes and leave, but the boxes were gone. All that was left in his room was a circle of salt around the bed, symbols drawn on the carpet, charcoal, I think, or blood, and one last note. "Don't break the circle. She likes you. She might not stop at your name." I called the police. They found the room empty, no Andrew, no salt, no symbols, just an empty room with bare walls and cold air. They asked if I'd been drinking. That night, the knocking came back again. At 2:14 a.m., 3 soft knocks. Didn't move, and I heard a voice right outside the door, high-pitched, childlike, trying too hard to sound friendly. "I have your name." I scratched at the wood. "I want to give it back." I didn't answer. At 3 a.m. on the dot, it stopped. The next morning, the hallway was covered in fingerprints, tiny, like a child's, burned into the paint. There was another note, slipped under my door. "She's inside now. Don't let her out. She wears new faces. You won't recognize them until they smile." I haven't seen Andrew since. I don't think I ever really met him, but I hear them knocking every night, always at the same time, and always one knock closer. That's a good one. That is a very good one, actually. My apologies. Apparently this, I don't want the party thing over here to be messing up. I should have done this before I started streaming. My apologies, everyone. I didn't think my controller would shut off that quick. Oh, it's a good one. Oh, I'm number 607. Oh, maybe let's look at the comments, actually. This one has a lot of it. 37 to be exact. From H2O brother. "Well, you said you needed front money and didn't care what this guy was, so... Da, 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 da. Dang, Andrew gets thrown out a lot, I bet." Second comment by Rod Arugula, 3196. "This totally creeps me out." Next one by Radiant Blue. "Had to confirm my door was well locked. Not taking chances." There seem to be many people were freaked out by this, which is good. That means it worked. Oh. On to the next one. "Have you heard this story? I worked night security at an abandoned water park. Someone keeps turning the slides on. Hold on, let me just drink some of my tea. It's not exactly that loud. People always ask why an abandoned place would need security. Let me explain. If something burns down, the city pays for it. If someone gets hurt, trespassing, lawsuits happen. If a kid falls off a broken ride, that's an investigation. And places like this, Half Moon Waterslide Park, are a magnet for dumb teenagers and TikTok explorers. I can say that again. So yeah, they hire guys like me. Low pay, long hours, and a flashlight that barely works. But at least it was boring. Till last Tuesday. Okay. The park's been shut down since 2009. Some kid went missing during a night event and they never found him. Whole place went bankrupt a few months later. Nobody touched it after that. No buyers, no demolition. Just sat there, rotting in the dark. The slides are still up, giant twisting tubes of faded plastic that creak in the wind. The wave pool is a dry crater. In the main tower, the tall one with a 6-story drop slide is chained shut. At least it was. Tuesday night, I was doing my first round at 11:47 p.m. I always walk the same path: entrance gate, locker rooms, food court, slides, and tower. Everything was normal until I got to the slides. Then I heard it. Water flowing. Splashing. Rushing. I froze. I put on my flashlight. The lazy river was running, except there was no water in that thing. Not anymore. Just cracked cement and a few raccoon bones, and yet I could hear it, rushing past me. Echoing down the path, I walked over to the control hut. The power box was open. The main switch was on. And that shouldn't be possible. The park's been cut off from the grid for years. There's no power. And still, the intercom crackled to life. A distorted voice whispered, "Oh, remain seated with your arms inside the raft." I turned the switch off, and the sound stopped. I told myself it was a shorted wire. Echoes, maybe. I was just tired. Until that next night. I arrived at 10:58 early. Thought I'd check the cameras before heading out. We only had 6 working ones, all black and white. Rainy as hell. They're more for show than anything else. Camera 2 pointed to the base of the main slide tower, was showing moment. A figure walking in slow circles around the tower. It zoomed in. No detail, just a shape. It was lopsided, slender, almost like it was leaning to one side. I watched it for 5 minutes. I didn't leave. It didn't stop, just kept walking. Then I finally go outside. It was gone. But the chain to the tower was broken, snapped like someone had done it with bolt cutters. I didn't sleep that day. Wednesday night, I brought it back. No cameras showed moved, so I walked the whole park twice. When I passed the tower, the door was open a crack. I didn't go in. But I didn't go in. But I heard something coming from the inside. Not footsteps, not voices, breathing. Deep, wet. Too loud to be a human. I ran. Thursday, my boss texted me. "Notice anything weird on shift? Lights are on. Pretty sure the building doesn't even have lights." He attached a photo taken from a highway dash cam apparently. The tower windows were glowing yellow like floodlights were on inside. That night I didn't do rounds. I stayed in the security shack, door locked, bat in hand. At 2:31 a.m., every monitor turned to static except for one. Camera 6. Entrance to the wave pool. It showed a boy, soaking wet, standing motionless at the pool's edge, staring straight into the lens. He didn't blink. He didn't move when I checked the pool 10 minutes later. There were footsteps leading towards the tower. Friday, I quit. Told myself I didn't need the money that bad. Told my boss I saw someone break in and refused to risk my life. He didn't fight me on it, but then last night I got an email. No sender, just a video file. 30 seconds long. It was security footage from the night the park shut down. You can hear kids screaming, not in fun, in panic, when the footage cuts into the main slide, just as something crawls out of it. It isn't clear, too much static, but it's too big and it moves wrong. I tried to delete it, but the file keeps coming back. Every time I open up my laptop now, the slides start playing. They tore the tower down this morning. Some kind of incident. Police tape everywhere. I drove by on my way to my brother's. The foundation's gone, flattened. The slide is still there. Just one tube, standing still, up like a straw in the dirt, and water is pouring out of it. Constant, endless, no pipes, no tanks, just falling from somewhere above, from nowhere at all. I like that one. I can't say I did. I did like it. Ooh, we have some comments on this one too. Bye, Hollywood Voice is fading. I wonder if your boss is still around, and if he's anything else. He seems to have a bit more information than he's sharing. Let's keep an eye in his direction. If he stays your boss, that is. And then the other comments by Dark and Neo 1. I felt like I was with you the whole time. Loved it. I think I just loved it. Boom. Sorry, my dad's very chipper. Let's go to the more recent one. We've been doing the old ones. Let's go to the most recent, not the most recent one, but from our special horror stories. Ooh, new edit found. Tell me, have you heard of the story? I played the Midnight game when I was 17. I cheated, and now it's my turn. I only cheated once. That's the part no one ever tells you. The game never forgets. We played it on my friend Maya's birthday. There were 5 of us. Me, Maya, Elijah, Nico, and Tara. We'd all been friends since middle school, bonded by too much time on Reddit, too many horror movies, and that teenage hunger for something real, something scary, enough to remind us that we're alive. Maya found the ritual. It's perfect. Midnight candles, no parents home, and a house built in 1800s? Come on. We thought it was harmless. No. Another dumb internet challenge, something to laugh about the next day. We follow the steps: paper, blood, candles, knock 22 times, welcome the midnight man. Then you walk. Don't stop moving. Keep your candle lit. Survive until 3:33 a.m. Sounds easy. It's not. At first we thought it was a joke. Nothing happened right away. Just the thrill of sneaking out of the dark house with flickering candles and nervous laughter. We whispered and giggled and told each other to shut up. Tara was the first to break. This is lame, she said, and sat down on the stairs. Her candle went out 30 seconds later. We didn't notice right away. By the time we realized, she was gone. No scream, no thump, just gone. We searched the house with shaking candles and called her phone, but there was no signal. The moment we tried the front door, it wouldn't budge, not stuck, sealed, like it wasn't part of the house anymore. Then Nico's candle blew out. He ran to the kitchen to relight it. He never came back. Maya swore Elijah vomited in the sink. I remember the sound of dripping wax, the smell of sweat and fear. I remember thinking, this is a game? At 2:50 a.m., Maya's candle went out. She screamed. Really screamed. Not movie style. The kind of scream that tears your throat raw. I ran to her, trying to relight it, but the lighter wouldn't spark. The flame wouldn't catch. The air shifted. We felt it. Him in the room. A figure in the dark, too tall, too wide, face blank and wrong, shoulders that brushed both sides of the hallway, fingers that bent the wrong way. It moved like it was stuck in time. Maya was frozen. Elijah tried to pull her back. He stepped between her and the thing. He shouldn't have. It didn't take both of them, just him. I saw Maya collapse, crying, shaking, but alive. Then my candle flickered, and I did something I was so ashamed of. I stepped into the salt circle. There was one near the hallway closet. I had made it earlier just in case. It was the cheat code to the ritual. If your candle goes out and you can't relight it, step inside a salt circle and wait it out until 3:30, 3:33. But you're not supposed to use someone else's. You're not supposed to abandon someone. I did both. My scream when I shut the closet door behind me still echoes in my head. The thing didn't go away, it just stood there, inches from the salt. It was watching, no eyes, but I knew it saw me. And I knew it saw what I'd done. At 3:33 a.m., the lights came back. The house was normal again, but Maya was gone, just like the others. I told the cops we'd been drinking and that they left, but I passed out and I didn't know where they went. Their families never believed me. Neither did mine. I moved away 6 months later and started over, tried to forget. But last week, 10 years after that night, I found something waiting outside my apartment door. A black envelope. No name inside. Was a single note, written in perfect, careful handwriting. You survived the midnight game by breaking the rules. Now it's your turn to play by them. There was also a list, 5 names. Oh my. First, middle, last. Variations, nicknames, legal spellings, all of it. And under that, welcome him in. I burned the note. It didn't matter. The next night, at 11:58 p.m., every candle in my apartment lit itself. At midnight, I heard the knocking 22 times from inside the walls. It's 1:44 a.m. right now. My candle is still lit. I've been walking in circles around my apartment, terrified to stop. Every shadow looks longer than it should. Every crack, every creak in the floor sounds like a footstep. The thing is here. He's patient. He knows I cheated, and he doesn't forgive. If you're reading this, never play the midnight game, and if you do, don't betray someone to save yourself, because he waits, he remembers, and when your turn comes, you don't get a soul circle. A good one. I like that one. I like stories like that. Ones that make you regret. Well, let me just take one big sip. I don't take my sips often, but I just like the tea. I just need an excuse. This is an r/creepypasta. Have you heard the story? I keep finding dream journals written by me, but I don't remember writing. The first one was under my bed. I'd been cleaning, not because I wanted to. My landlord threatened another inspection. I don't know if he actually ever planned to show up, but the idea of the crusty old bastard walking in my place with this condensing clipboard made me furious. So I started clearing out the clutter. Clothes, wrappers, stray socks. A half-empty bottle of water with mold growing out of the lip of it. Just bachelor things. And then I found it. A notebook. Plain, black spiral bound. No brand, no label. Just tucked against the wall under the bed frame. At first, I thought it was an old class notebook. It opened, the first page. Just tucked against the. I flipped it open. First page read, "Dream Journal property of Tyler Quinn. If found, please do not read." I almost laughed. I never kept a dream journal in my life. And the handwriting, it was mine. Not much I knew immediately. Not just similar, identical even. Same loops, the same way I slashed my tea. Like, I'm mad at it. The same occasional capitalizing of a random letter midway because I'd lose momentum halfway through writing. It creeped me out. I flipped a few pages deeper. October 2nd. I was on the bridge again. The one from 4th grade. The girl was back. Her eyes were missing this time. She asked me if I'd killed her yet. I said yes. She said, no, not yet. And then she screamed, the bridge fell. I sat there rereading it over and over. I've never had this dream. Not once. Not even close. There was more. Page after page of dream entries, descriptions of dead family members I don't have, memories that weren't mine, nightmares that involved specific locations and names, and the one that hit me in the chest, October 8th. I saw my mom again. She was sitting on the porch like she used to. She said she forgives me. She said she understands why I had to do it, but her smile was gone. Her teeth were too sharp. I asked her what she meant. She said, "You'll remember soon." My mom's alive. She's alive and well, and living 2 states over, but I still called her. "Hey, Ma," I said, trying to sound casual. She talked to me like normal, laughed, asked how I was. No mention of dreams and no mention of porches. But when I brought up dreams, asked if she'd been having any weird ones lately, she got quiet. She said, "Actually, yeah, but it's nothing." I didn't push. Not yet. 2 days later, I found another notebook, this time in my glove compartment. Same handwriting, same message on the first page. Property of Tyler Quinn. Do not read. Read it anyways. The entries had different dates, different stories, but the same tone, the same me. Almost like I'd written them in a different lifetime. November 3rd. The man in the mirror is smiling again. I hate when he smiles. It means I'm getting close. I asked him where the others are. He said, "Still reading you." I'm tired. So tired. I wish I could wake up. I think I'm still sleeping. That's when the dream started. My real dreams. Suddenly I was remembering things when I woke up. Terrible things. Burning rooms, giant figures standing in cornfields, faces covered in tar, laughter but no mouths, and I started sleepwalking. I wake up in places I didn't fall asleep. Once on my porch, once in my car, once in the woods behind my building, barefoot, bleeding from a gash on my heel. There was a plastic bag in my hand that time, full of rocks. Then I found a third notebook buried in the back of the freezer. You read that right. Freezer. Wrapped in foil like a burrito. Ice crystals clinging to the edges. By then, I wasn't even scared anymore, just numb. This one was different. The entries weren't written like dreams. They were written like instructions. If you're reading those, then the dreams are working. Don't panic. You left us here for yourself. You're close now. You're still They'll start contacting you soon. Don't answer the phone. Don't talk to them. They aren't real. You're the only real one. I stopped sleeping after that. I couldn't, not without pills. Not without waking up screaming and sweating and looking for people who weren't there. I told my friend Sam about it. He's chill, dude. A little into mushrooms and conspiracy documentaries, but he's always been good at listening. When I showed him the journals, he said, "Bro, it's not your handwriting." What? He pointed. Look closer. It's like someone trying to copy your handwriting, but they're off. Every R is too perfect. And look at the way the loops of your G's are shaped. They curve the wrong way. He was right. It looked like my handwriting, but it wasn't mine. Something was writing these for me, trying to make me believe they were mine. That night, Sam said he'd text me this. He texted me this. "Yo, were you just outside my apartment window?" I replied, "No. Why?" No answer. When I called him, it went straight to voicemail. I found the fourth notebook in the microwave. It had one sentence written over and over on every single page. "You are the dream. You are the dream. You are the dream." On the last page, "Wake up and you'll kill us all." Still with me? Because this is where it gets worse. This morning I got a voicemail from a number I didn't recognize. The voice in the recording was mine. Perfectly mine. It said, Hey, if you're hearing this, I did it. I finally woke up. You'll start feeling it soon. The slipping, the thinning. Don't fight it. We need you to wake up. You need to remember who you were before the dreaming started. Before the split. And static, then. They're going to find you now. Sorry. I looked in the mirror today and thought I saw something blink behind my reflection. Not me, something behind me. And then just now I checked under my pillow on another notebook. I haven't opened it yet. I'm scared I'll see something I recognize, something I've forgotten, or worse, something I've done. The notebook under my pillow was heavier than the others, like it was soaked in something dense and dark. I almost didn't want to pick it up, but I did. The first page was blank. The second page was blank. The third page was filled with a single neat paragraph. No handwriting, no smudges. Typed to the one who finds this, you don't exist anymore. The version of you reading this is just a memory trapped inside the dream. The real you is lost somewhere beyond the edge of waking. If you want to live, you need to break the loop. Forget everything you think you know about yourself. Stop looking for the journals. Stop listening to the voice. And above all, stop trying to wake up. I dropped the notebook, and the pages fluttered like dead wings. I sat in silence for what felt like hours, staring at the ceiling. My mind was shouting, screaming to understand, but the words all tangled into one endless knot. My phone buzzed. It was a message from a number I didn't recognize. They're watching you now. The waking is only the beginning. I replied, who? No answer. I tried to call Sam again. Pick up. Tried my mom. She said everything was fine, but sounded tired. I told her I loved her, and hung up before she could say anything else. The days blurred. Dreams invaded the edges of my reality. I'd be at work or out on the street and suddenly feel like someone was walking behind me, just out of sight. I'd hear my name whispered by strangers on the bus, but when I turned to look, they'd be staring right through me like I was a ghost. And every time I opened my phone, there was another message. No number, no sender, just text. You're slipping. The dream is spreading. You don't have long. Remember the girl on the bridge? She's waiting. They're all waiting. I went back to my apartment, desperate to find some anchor to all this madness. That's when I found the hole, a small, jagged one, in the back wall of my closet. I swear it was there before. I tore out the drywall with my bare hands, heart pounding behind the wall where this narrow crawl space, dark, cold, smelling like earth and forgotten things. At the bottom of the crawl space was something. A box. An old wooden box. Carved with symbols I didn't recognize. I opened it. Inside was a single object. A cracked mirror no bigger than my palm. When I looked into it, I didn't see my reflection. I saw a different face. Someone else. But the eyes were mine. Then a whisper filled the room. Wake up. I slammed the mirror shut in the box and shoved it back to the crawl space. I can't tell if I'm losing my mind or if I'm finally starting to see what's really going on. Tonight, I'm going to try something. I'm going to write down everything I see in my dreams. I'm going to stop ignoring the journals because I don't think this is just a nightmare. I think it's a warning. If you hear from me again, it means I survived. If you don't, then maybe I was right to stop trying to wake up. The other one as well. This one is from r/horror stories. Have you heard this story? The apartment I moved into has no mirrors. I found out why. I signed the lease. I didn't notice anything strange. Small studio, old building, downtown, seemed fine. No red flags. A little dusty, sure. A faint smell I couldn't place, like burnt hairs. But the price was so low I barely blinked. I signed the same day. It wasn't until I started unpacking that I realized something was weird. There were no mirrors. Hmm. None. Not in the bath. Not in the bathroom. Not in the closet doors. Not even in the kitchen, where those ugly reflective backsplashes usually are. At first, I figured the last I just didn't like them, but then I noticed the walls, where they should have been, were patched up, like someone had torn mirrors out and filled the gaps. Sloppy work too, uneven plaster, knife scratches, the kind of job you do when you're in a hurry, or when you're scared. That night, I hung a small mirror. I brought it from my last place, just a round one, no frame. I stuck it above the bathroom sink and went to bed. At 3:22 a.m., I woke up. Not suddenly, not to a noise. I just felt awake. My eyes opened and my body refused to move. Sleep paralysis, I thought, but then I heard breathing. Not mine. Low, raspy. Like something with fluid in their lungs, coming from the bathroom. I could see the doorway from my bed. Nothing moved, but the breathing didn't stop, and then a faint scraping, like fingernails on glass. The next morning, the mirror was gone. Gone. Not shattered, just missing. I checked the floor, the trash, even the hallway. Nothing. I called the landlord and asked if maintenance had been. He laughed. Your mirror? He said, yeah, you don't want that. Best leave the walls blank. Trust me. Then he hung up. Then I heard something whisper my name, not from the doorway this time, from inside the bathroom. I walked in with a flashlight, nothing there. But I swear the wall with the mirror has been looked wetter than it should have. Like someone had breathed. I left the lights on after that. I slept with the TV playing static. It didn't help. Every night at around 3 a.m., I'd wake up. Every time I'd hear it, a low chuckle, like someone laughing underwater, the scrape of a palm sliding across glass. And once, just once, I looked towards the bathroom. I saw a flash of a reflection, not mine, just eyes too high on the wall, too wide, watching. Hanging another mirror. This time I taped it. Bum! Sorry. This time I taped it to the inside of a cabinet. It shut during the day. Figured maybe if I controlled it, I could stop whatever this was. But when I opened the cabinet that night, there was someone in it. Not behind the cabinet, in the mirror. It looked like me at first, but this mouth didn't move when mine did. Its arms stayed still when I trembled. And when it smiled, not a normal smile, too many teeth, cracked lips, like its face was stretching to fit. I slammed the cabinet shut and heard a shriek behind the wall. It was mad that I caught it. I smashed the mirror the next morning, swept it up, and threw it down the trash chute. Later that day, I saw someone watching me from across the street. On the top floor, dirty window, no lights on. They stood completely still for over an hour. And when I looked again that night, they were holding up a mirror to the glass, facing my apartment. I moved out next morning, didn't even ask for my deposit, just left. The landlord didn't look surprised. He just said, longer than most. He'd been, I'd been crashing on a friend's couch since, but last night, the bathroom mirror in his place fogged up while I was brushing my teeth, and written on the condensation in shaky, dripping letters, "Let me finish watching you." Yeah, that last bit, that's gonna be a no for me. Be a no. I'm coming out. Oh, look, keeping it up to the end. Oh, hello. Happy for the first. Oh, I didn't get to say hello to this person. Oh, I'm so bad. Oh, I'm sorry. I forgot. I didn't get to say. Oh, Ren Flames. I'm sorry if you see this. I'm sorry I didn't get to say hello. Happy 50th anniversary. Thank you. Thank you. Look, keep it up till you end for me. Ah, oh, it's amazing. Oh, on to the next story. Goodness. Again, from our section of site. As a reminder, all these stories are written by one user, Haunting Minute 5103. Check them out. Or haunting underscore minute underscore 5103. Check them out. They were a lovely person who gave me permission to narrate these stories. Have you heard the story? My upstairs neighbor has been stomping around all night. I live on the top floor. I moved into Unit C4 about 3 months ago. Top floor, old brick building. Nothing fancy, but it's quiet. Cheap, too. It's just me up here. No roommates, no pets. The apartment above mine was supposed to be empty. There's no fifth floor, just the roof. So when I heard footsteps above me, I figured I was wrong. The first time it happened, it was 2 a.m. Heavy footsteps pacing across the ceiling, back and forth, back and forth. And then a dragging sound. Then quiet. I figured it was the pipes or the wind. You can convince yourself of anything when you're tired, but when it happened again the next night, and again the night after that, always around 2 a.m., always heavy, always dragging something, I went down to the lobby and asked the super, Mr. Donnell, about it. You sure it's not coming from the next door? He asked. No, I said. It's from above. He frowned. There's nothing above you, it's just a roof. It's locked. When he added, after a pause, don't try to go up there. A few minutes later, I couldn't sleep. I kept hearing them, the steps, the dragging, something new, scraping, like furniture being pulled across the wooden floor, over and over. I went into the hallway, looked at the stairwell. The door to the roof was shut, chained. But as I got closer, I heard something on the other side, breathing, slow, heavy, right on the other side of the door. I backed away and didn't sleep that night. I started asking the other tenants. Most of them looked uncomfortable. One guy in 2A pulled me aside and whispered, "You hear it too?" I nodded. He glanced up at the ceiling. He said, "Don't listen too hard. That's how they notice you." Last Thursday, the sound changed. No more dragging. Now it sounded like tapping. Like someone running their nails along the ceiling. Just above my bed, faster and slow. Then suddenly, 3 hard knocks directly above me. I stared up at the ceiling. I swear to God, it knocked back. It knocked back 3 times, perfectly timed. The night I had a dream. I was walking up the stairwell to the roof. The door was open. The chain had been snapped. I stepped inside. The room was too big, way too big. The roof stretched on forever, filled with old furniture, rocking chairs, dressers, beds with the sheets still made, and people stood beside each one, motionless, facing the floor. Their skin was stretched too tight. Their eyes were just dark pits. They didn't move. Until I turned around. Then they all looked up. At the same time, one of them smiled. When I woke up, my door was open, just barely, like someone had just left or come in. I checked the lock. Nothing's broken. Nothing tampered with, but there were footprints, bare, wet, leading from my bed and stopping at the door. Just one set. Mine were dry. I don't sleep much anymore. The ceiling creaks constantly now. Sometimes I hear voices. Sometimes I see shadows pass over the floor, like someone's walking above, blocking out the light. Once I looked out my peephole and saw someone standing at the end of the hall, not moving, just facing my door. Yesterday I got brave, stupid even. I went up to the roof. The chain was still there, the lock too, but the door was warm, and someone had carved something into it. Someone moved. Someone moved out. I need a new floor. Now when I lie in bed, I hear scratching inside the walls, like something is crawling down towards me. Like a new floor is being built, not above, but below. Nice. Good one. I like that one. Next story. Slash baby pasta. I've heard the story. I was hired to translate a demon's confession. Wow, that's already a good title. I already read the first sentence ahead and got on my struggle on this. I'm a translator. Ancient languages, mostly Akkadian, Syriac, and a little Enochian. If you believe in that sort of thing. I usually work with museums or weird grad students, but last month I got a job from a man who wouldn't tell me his name. He found me through my website, no profile picture, no reference, just a message. I have something for you that you need to see. I'll pay triple your normal rate. Bring gloves. The file he sent me was a series of photos, scanned pages from what looked like a journal, leather bound, brittle paper, black ink that had faded to rust. The script was unfamiliar at first. Harsh? Blocky? Like uniform, and I had a migraine. But the structure, the syntax, I felt too intentional to ignore. I told him I'd take the job, but he wired me the money instantly, no questions asked. The journal had no title, but a single phrase etched into the inside of the cover. What is bound must speak. Most of it was disjointed rambling, names that didn't exist, locations that didn't make sense. But the further I went, the more I realized this wasn't a diary, it was a confession from something that wasn't human. It talked about its fall, cast like rotten gold from the heavens. It said it remembered the cold before light, the taste of burning offering, the thrill of being worshipped. Then came the silence, the great forgetting, and finally the binding. It said it had been trapped in a vessel, a host who spoke my words, but whose throat bled from them. That phrase struck me. So did this one. The translator becomes the transcriber becomes the vessel. I stopped sleeping. The more I read, the more I understood words I never should have known. I'd not just what they meant, but how they felt, like they were alive, like they were watching me. One night I woke up and found symbols carved into my apartment wall. Not drawn, carved. Deep, perfect lines. I live alone. No one has keys. Then came the voice. It didn't speak out loud. It was in me, in my thoughts, but not mine. It called itself Vorkai. It said I'd unlocked the gate with my tongue. It said it had waited for centuries for someone who could read its story in the right order. I tried to burn the journal. It wouldn't catch. I soaked in gasoline, nothing. I tried to email the man who hired me. The message bounced. His account was gone. The bank transfer reversed like it never happened. The journal's gone now, but I still have the words. They're in me. Sometimes I black out and wake up in a strange place. Subway tunnels, rooftops, under bridges, always near someone who died a few days later. One was found with their jaw shattered. Another drowned in dry air. The last had pages torn from their stomach. Each had the same phrase carved somewhere on them. The translator becomes the vessel. And I've started speaking in my sleep. My neighbors say it sounds like screaming backwards. That's a good one as well. Not, it's all about bangers. I'm sorry, I know I'm supposed to like be, oh, spooky, scary story time, but like, these are all good stories, and I like them. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. We're down to our last 5 stories from this user. Oh, I wish I could read more. I'm like, a part of me is gonna message them right now, actually. Oh, I'm in love. What's this? Let me keep it. There we go. Oh, I I misspelled the word stores. It's amazing. Oh, I love the stars. Last down to the last 5. We're just instead of going them in order, like I've been going from most recent to oldest, we're gonna jump one because one just caught my attention. And I don't know why it did. From r/QB pasta, again, same user. And have you heard the story? Something else on the night shift. I work night shifts alone, but something else clocks in with me. You know that feeling when you're the only one in a building, and that hum of silence, the echo of your own footsteps? It's weirdly peaceful. That's what I thought anyway. I took a night shift job as a career facility supervisor. Nothing glamorous. I sit at a desk monitoring some security feeds, make rounds every 2 hours. Pay's not bad, and I like the idea of being alone for a while. No coworkers, no noise, just me and the hum. That was a mistake. I started 2 months ago. The first few nights, nothing strange. I even brought books to read. The warehouse has 4 main areas: the loading dock, storage, main hall, and admin office. Security feeds cycle through them. The cameras are old, grainy, black and white with a bit of lag, but they did the job. On the ninth night, something changed. It was subtle. Something I wouldn't have noticed if I wasn't already tired and zoning out of it. 2:34 a.m. The hallway camera glitched. It only lasted a second, a little blur, but when the feed came back, there was something on the floor, a dark smear. I wanted to check it out. The hallway smelled wrong, like burnt copper, and the smear looked like something had been dragged, but the floor was dry, and no one else was supposed to be here. I checked the entire building. All the doors were still locked, motion sensors inactive. I wrote it off as a glitch, maybe a leak, maybe the night just plays tricks on tired eyes. But the next night, it happened again. Same time, 2:34 a.m. Same blur. This time the smear was longer, reaching to the edge of the hallway, like something was being pulled further each time. I reported it to my supervisor. He looked at the footage, scratched his chin and said, "That's been happening for years, just ignore it." Years? I asked if there was any history to the building. He shrugged. "All I know is don't follow it." That's the last guy did. I wanted to press him, but he clammed up. I should have left then. I should have never come back. I did some digging. The last night guard, his name was Jason, disappearing in 2017. No official word, just quit without notice. Left all his things behind, even his lunch was still in the fridge. Found his locker, still had his badge inside. A little notebook, most of his entries were mundane. 2 a.m. Checked loading dock. All clear. 2:15 a.m. Drank vending machine coffee. Bitter. But the last few pages, they changed. 2:34 a.m. And there it is again. Moved closer. I think it knows I see it. Last night it was at the corner. Chanced at the door. I can't open it. It open it. It won't. If someone finds this, don't let it in. The writing was shaky again. Took the notebook with me. Showed it to my boss. He told me to destroy it. I didn't. I didn't think I can. A week later, everything changed. It didn't wait for 2:34 anymore. The camera started flickering at random. I've been watching the loading with static and suddenly eyes. Right up to the lens, black, reflective, and wet. Gone in a blink. Sometimes I hear breathing in the main hallway, loud, slow, wet breathing. But when I check the mic feed, there's nothing. I started locking the office door. I bring a crowbar. I don't feel alone anymore. 2 nights ago, I fell asleep on the desk. Only for a minute. When I woke up, someone had written on the monitor in black marker, "You see me." I checked the cameras. The hallway feed showed a figure, blurry, almost like the lens couldn't focus on it, like a static had a body. It was just standing there, not moving, not blinking, facing the camera. I watched it for hours. It didn't move. At the end of my shift, it was gone. Last night, I found footprints, black, heavy ones, leading from the storage area to the office door, my office door. The cameras showed nothing. I stayed inside and didn't breathe. Something brushed the door, slow and deliberate, like the caress of my hand. And then I stopped. When I opened the door at sunrise, there was another message on the wall. That's tonight. I don't know what to do. I'm sitting in my chair now, almost at 2:34 a.m. The hallway feed is fine, but my reflection in the screen is smiling. I'm not. I don't know what it wants, but I know it's coming. And I think when it gets here, I won't be allowed to leave either. Please, if you find this post, don't take the job. Don't reply to the listing. Don't be curious. Don't come looking. Just let me stay here. Let it end with me, because something else clocks in with me every night, and it's getting closer. That one. So I don't like that one. Not because I dislike it. Much more of a. See, I always liked night shifts. It was like kind of my thing. But how you do this to me? How dare you? How dare? That's not. Oh, that's mean. Last four. Let's look at this one that caught my attention. War/slash creepypasta. Have you heard the story? There's a SpongeBob episode that keeps coming back, no matter what I do. Oh, I have a message. Go watch? Oh, great. Oh, how. Oh, great. Oh, goodness. uh, Now I'm being watched too. Great, that's not terrifying at all. Oh, oh, I don't like that thought either. Anyways, down to the last four. Get doing. Like I said, the Marstache creepypasta. Have you heard the story? There's a lost SpongeBob episode that keeps coming back no matter what I do. I know how this sounds. Lost episode, creepypasta. I'm tired of it. I get it. Someone finds a cursed VHS tape, watches it, and then their life goes to hell. But I'm not trying to make something up for internet clout. I'm not trying to go viral. I'm telling you this because I don't know what else to do. The episode won't go away. It keeps coming back. I first found it last summer, buried in the back of a second-hand store in coastal New Hampshire. I was there for nostalgia kick. Don't judge. Looking for old tapes and DVDs. I grew up in the early 2000 cartoons. Ed and Eddie, Courage, SpongeBob. I love that type of stuff. Still do. It reminds me of when things were simpler. Before the divorce. Before mom's breakdown. Before everything got weird. The tape was in a bin labeled 25 pounds? 25 cents. Or free if you promised to take the creepy ones too. I almost didn't grab it. It was unlabeled. Just a plain VHS with the words SB. Scratched into the plastic with something sharp. Not written. Scratched. The kind of scratch you get when someone presses too hard for too long. The sticker had a crusty brown stain on one corner. Hello! Sorry, I have to like open up. I thought it might have been some old SpongeBob episode. Someone had taped off TV, so I brought it home with a few others and popped it in. I started normally enough. The Nickelodeon splash screen, the underwater bubbles, the music. Then it cut to black. For longer than usual. About 20 seconds in, it started. No title card, no ukulele, just a shot of SpongeBob's house in complete silence. It sat there, no movement, no sound, not even the usual background music or ocean sounds, just a still shot for maybe a full minute. Then it cut to the living room. SpongeBob sat on the floor, legs stretched out in front of him. His eyes were wide, it was tiny, the animation was off. jittery, like it had been drawn over too many times. His arms were too long. His skin had a grayish hue. He didn't blink. He just stared at the screen. Then, without warning, the image glitched and a loud static burst nearly blew out my speakers. The screen flickered, and now SpongeBob was outside the Krusty Krab, but it looked destroyed. The windows were shattered. The sign was cracked in half. The colors were wrong, washed out, like the old VHS recording left in the sun. The sound came back, faint whispering, layered under the same building, bubbling ocean, noises that show usually used, but this time the whispers didn't stop. They kept going, louder and louder, until I could almost make out words. You shouldn't watch this. You shouldn't watch this. You shouldn't watch this. Then it cut again. Squidward was in his house, staring into the mirror. The glass was fogged over, but his reflection didn't match his movements. He'd blink, and the reflection wouldn't. He'd tilt his head, and the reflection would smile. Then, fast, almost like a jump scare, the mirror cracked and the reflection screamed. The sound wasn't a scream, it was a distorted clip of SpongeBob's laughter, stretched and pitched until it sounded inhuman. The scream went black. Then something new, something I'd never seen in any SpongeBob episode. SpongeBob was in Sandy's dome, but it was full of water. Sandy floating lifeless near the ceiling. Her helmet was cracked, her fur had darkened. SpongeBob stared up at her for a while before turning towards the screen again. His mouth started to open. The whispering returned. This time it was SpongeBob's voice. I remember what you did. You remember, and you'll keep watching. That's when I turned it off. I ejected the tape. Threw it into a box and left it in my garage. I couldn't sleep that night. Every time I closed my eyes, I saw those wide circles, those wide eyes staring back at me. Heard those whispers under the ocean noise. I didn't touch the tape again, but it didn't matter. 3 days later, it was back in my VSR. I swear to God I hadn't moved it. My garage was locked. I live alone, but when I went to watch a different tape, the same black VHS was already inside. Halfway through, like someone had been watching it. I threw it away. A week later, it showed up in my mailbox. No postage, no return address. Just sitting there like it had been delivered by hand. And this time the tape had something written in red marker. You saw me. I tried to burn it. I poured lighter fluid on it in my backyard and set it ablaze. It melted, bubbled, and turned to sludge. I went to bed thinking it was finally over. The next morning, I was sitting at my kitchen table, no note, no explanation, pristine condition. I don't know how it keeps coming back. I've smashed it with a hammer, drowned it in bleach, cut it with shears. One time I mailed it to a P.O. box I never use anymore, thinking maybe I was going crazy and doing it to myself in my sleep. It came back the next day, sitting on my pillow. But it's not just the tape now. I started hearing the laugh, that warped, distorted laugh. It comes from the walls, from under the bed. I've moved apartments twice since then, but it doesn't matter. The tape follows me. And the worst part, it's changing. The episode's longer now. New scenes keep appearing, more characters. Last night, it showed SpongeBob digging something in the sand behind the Krusty Krab. He was humming. The fan was red, then the camera panned over and I saw him, what he was burying. It was a body, mine. Same shirt, same scar on my hand, some chipped tooth. He looked at the camera and smiled. See you soon. I don't know what's happening to me. I haven't watched the tape in full since the first time, but it plays in my head anyway, frame by frame. Sometimes I dream of Bikini Bottom, but it's not a cartoon. It's real, tangible, wet, cold. I walk through it, and the house is wrought like they're made of meat. The sky is black. This SpongeBob watches me from the windows. This isn't just some urban legend. It's some ARG. It's cursed media project or anything. I don't care if you believe me. I just want it to stop. But I don't think it ever will. There's one thing I haven't told you. One thing I just remembered from when I was a kid back in 2004. Nickelodeon ran a contest. Visit the real Bikini Bottom, they called it. I won. Me and 4 other kids, they flew us out in some studio in California. they said they were showing us something special. Something they were still working on. We never went home, except me. Woke up in my bed like nothing had happened. I remember now. I remember the cold metal room, the static, the smell of salt and blood, the cartoon characters drawn on the walls in crayons. The way the producers said we'd become part of the show now. I don't remember. I don't think the tape is haunted. I think it's a doorway. I think it's still open. That one. I like that one. Oh, I loved that one. Oh, Oh, I loved that one. I didn't think I'd like that one as much as I did. Oh, but I loved it. Oh, that's great. Okay. It's a good one. Oh, you did a good job on that one. Oh, goodness. Another one. Hold on, let me drink some tea. The roommate one. Oh, which one? I'll tell you the ones I'm missing. 'Cause I'm missing 4. I'm missing the following. I found a hidden room behind my closet. I shouldn't have touched anything inside. Something, no, I reread something else on my night shift. I'm pretty sure, right? I worked on my shift, something else once. Yes, no, I've read that one. I'm missing, I think something in my house is pretending to be my brother, and you've been selected for observation. Those are the last 3 I'm missing. Thank you. Oh, nothing but fucking bangers, and I love it. You know, it's funny. I cuss when reading your stories. When I stream normally or whenever I'm just like be myself, I don't cuss at all, and I love it. It gives me an excuse to cuss. I think the one that you're talking about the apartment one, was it with the character named Andrew, correct? About how they wanted your name, I recall. Or is it something else? Oh, my roommate won't stop knocking my door at night. I'll start adding cursors. What the hell? You don't have to. I just love it. I just love I get the possibility. Because I got somebody message me on my Discord. It's like, it's so strange hearing you cuss. The one he came alone and a girl just appeared. Which one's that one? Which one's the title of that? I worked the night shift on a motel, and I read that one. My son says his mother's talking to him. No, not. My new roommate won't stop knocking on my door at night. He moved in 2 days ago. I'm pretty sure it's this one, no? It's unknown. I didn't see it. I came home the next day. Where is that? The one, a childlike, trying too hard to sound friendly. I have your name. I have your name. It's scratched at the wood. I want to give it back. That one? If so, that was a good one as well. Yes, that one. I'm pretty sure I read that one actually earlier today. So when I post this on YouTube, you can see it there. Though, so far, for tonight, my favorite one has to be the SpongeBob episode one. And I played the midnight game when I was 17. I cheated. Now it's my turn. That's so far number 1 for me. Oh, I'm knocking on the door. The midnight game one is my favorite one. It was a fun read, especially figuring out like, oh yes, they abandoned their teammate. They abandoned their friend. Only for them to be caught. I want to do a mimic one. What do you think? Oh, mimics are fun. But now the question is, what type of mimic? Because I'm a nerd. Because there is the mimic that can shapeshift into creatures and objects. Which that one is horrifying. If done correctly, that one is terrifying. Imagine you're trying to Depending on how it is, you're going insane. This creature just lives in your house. No matter what you do, it's never there. It can mimic any voice, it can mimic anything. And yet, it's there. Furniture thing? Oh. Like the one that can transform into objects then? Or the one that can just like shapeshift into people and copy their voices to try to drag you towards them? Exactly. Oh, I love the object. I love the ones that can change can change themselves. I love that one. The idea of a mimic that you know is always there, even replacing objects, even replacing people, even if you made it that far. Imagine if the person had a dog and the dog kept barking at something and the owner just thought, oh, the dog just doesn't like that thing. Until one day it hears its dog, they hear their dog cry and whimper until they come outside. There's nothing, but the dog is different. Not the exact same, but different. That one. I like that idea. The idea of something replacing creatures. Sort of like the Thing. Oh, it's a mimic. This thing infects people. Wait, I might do that. Oh. Hopefully you do. And I hope I can read it. Oh, what the hell? What the hell was that? I thought I just heard something in my room. My room is small. I can see it from, just turning around. I'm in the corner of my room. There might have just been my dog outside. Might have been. Oh, that's not terrifying at all. I'm looking at the Minecraft thing. I'm looking at the background, and I just saw a creaking staring at me, menacingly. It was just watching me. Oh. Honestly, a horror story of a creature related to the creaking would also be interesting. Something that doesn't move until you look away, like the weeping angel. That would also be a good horror story. Okay, I'm getting sidetracked. We're down to the last 3 stories. Last 3. And I'm sad it's gonna end. Well, it's not gonna end because you'll still write more, and I hope you do. But we have 3 left. I found a hidden room behind my closet. I shouldn't have touched anything inside. And I think something's in my house pretending to be my brother, and you've been selected for observation. You, as the author, which out of the 3 should I read? I don't think I'll be able to get to all 3 of them today. That's the thing that saddens me. But I hope I can do a good job narrating. Even though my voice isn't spooky, scary, or hypnotic. Much more of a cheerful love. Love for the game. I wonder. The one of the replaced brother. Okay. Also, now that I actually have someone here, is the audio okay? Because this is a very old mic, and I don't know if it amplifies the scariness by being okay, by being weird. If you practice enough, it will be more like a dark soft. Sorry? Maybe. But my voice is also meant to, well, it's natural, so I can't be like, oh, it's meant to be this. No, it's just how I am. I kind of like it. The only thing I do hate is how I pronounce S's and like certain words and such. It's like a snake, it's like a hiss. And I don't like it. But people find it fun. It gives me a charm, so can't complain. Now look. Which one did you request? Replaced brother. From r/no sleep. Posted 2 months ago. Have you heard the story? I think something in my house is pretending to be my brother. They told me the house was empty when we moved in. It was a foreclosure. 3 bedrooms, 1 bathroom, broken porch light. My mom called it a fresh start. I was 13. Too old to believe in monsters, too young to know some monsters wear your face. We unpacked in silence, still grieving, still trying not to say my little brother's name. Josh had been dead for 6 months, drowned in the neighbor's pool while I was supposed to be watching him. I didn't cry at the funeral. I haven't cried since. When I first saw the attic window, I swear to God, he was waving at me. The attic had no stairs, just one of those fold-down ladders. We never opened it. And there was no reason to. Just a thunder? Well, if that's just the issue, I can turn that off. There we go. I should turn off the thunder. There was no reason to. Every night at around 2:15 a.m., I'd hear footsteps above my ceiling, light ones, running, like a child playing tag. I told myself it was rats. On the house settling, I told myself that every night for a week. Then I started waking up with toys at the foot of my bed. Old toys, not mine. Not Josh's either. Wood carved blocks, tiny animal figures made of glass, a spinning top that never stopped moving. And the last one was a note. Crayon, big, shaky letters. Do you remember me yet? I showed it to Mom. She didn't even look. She was tired all the time, worn down. Grief makes people soft around the edges, like butter left out for too long. And she just said, "Don't go to the attic." I haven't told her it came from there. The noises got louder, dragging sounds, breathing whispers that didn't feel like they came from through ears, but through skin. And the laughter started. Not mean, not evil, childish innocence. It was Josh's laugh. I know that laugh. I'd made it happen 1,000 times, hide and seek, finger puppets, dumb knock-knock jokes. Now it was coming from above my bed. It broke. I couldn't take it anymore. I pulled down the attic ladder at 3 a.m., flashlight in hand, heart caving in on itself. My hands were shaking so bad. I dropped the light, but I climbed anyways. The attic was cold, dusty, empty, except for a mirror in the corner. I didn't see myself in it. I saw him. Josh, smiling, wearing the same trunks that he drowned in. Only he had no eyes. Just two empty sockets, leaking something black and slow. He raised one hand and wrote in the fog of the mirror, "You left me." I ran. I didn't look back, but every night, since the attic ladder is down, when I wake up, last night, found one. I told my mom again, begged her to leave the house. She just looked at me and said, "Not Josh." I asked her how she knows. She didn't answer, just went back to watching the attic window. It's 2:14 a.m. now. I can hear him again, running. I know what's coming. I don't know if I'll be here tomorrow, but if you move into this house, don't look at the window. Whatever you do, get back. Oh, that was short. Aw. I liked it, though. It was good. Well, it was very good. Oh, that was a good one. Hopefully I did a good job on that one. Two more left. Okay. Ah! Ow! I didn't think I'd crack my fingers that badly. I didn't know it was that short. It's fine though. It's a good one. It doesn't overstay for too long. It doesn't overstay. Though, I will say this, a quick little intermission. My favorite one of all time so far that I've read of yours is your most recent one. The landlord gave me one rule when I moved in and I broke it. It's a very long one, but I enjoyed every moment of it. Every moment I did. Now then, this one's caught my attention. You've been selected. This one. Yes. I want to read this one. This one caught my attention. I took my time. Please, when you write, please do take your time. Oh, it's so lovely reading it. So lovely. It's addicting, really. Now then. This is from r/horror stories. Again, from our lovely user, haunting_minute_5103. Oh, 03. My apologies. Have you heard the story? You've been selected for observation. Last week, I applied for a job. I don't remember saying no contact information, no company name, just a message in my inbox. You've been selected for observation. Congratulations. I figured it was spam. The next day, a small black envelope arrived at my door. No stamp, no return address. Inside was a single sentence, thick, glossy paper. Your observation begins tonight at 11 p.m. Please remain seated. Weird. But I'm a night owl anyways, and curiosity won. So at 10:59 p.m., I sat in my living room and waited. At exactly 11, the power in my house shut off. I mean, everything. Lights, phone, even the emergency flashlight I keep above the fridge. All dead. Then I heard it. A click, like a camera shutter. It came from behind me. I live alone. I didn't move, just sat there, frozen. Another click. And then a third. Each one closer. I could feel something watching me, breathing behind me. But the second I flinched, the second I almost turned my head, a voice whispered, "Remain seated." It wasn't loud or angry. It was just was. The observation lasted 6 minutes. I know, because at 11:06, all the lights came back on once. No signs of anyone, no proof of anything happened. Except the note on the table had changed. New message. Thank you for complying. Phase 2 begins tomorrow. I didn't sleep. Couldn't. I called the cops the next day. They searched the place. Nothing, not even prints. I thought maybe it was a prank. Then I got an email. No sender, just a file, just a subject line. Non-compliance is non-existent. Inside was a photo of me, sitting on my couch, eyes wide, mouth slightly open in the dark. Behind me, barely visible in the shadows, was a shape, thin, taller than the doorway. Its hands touched the ceiling. Its face was blank, no mouth, no eyes, but the skin was pulled tight, like it was smiling. Phase 2 begins that night. This time, the lights stayed on. But I still couldn't move, couldn't sleep. At 11 p.m., I blinked, and when I opened my eyes, I wasn't in my living room anymore. I was in the room with white walls and no windows, just a table, a chair, and a mirror, the kind you find in a police station. One-way glass, even. I sat. I don't know why. I felt like I didn't have a choice. Behind the mirror, something shifted. I couldn't see it, but I could feel it, watching, breathing, thinking a speaker would click on or on. Please describe what you are. I laughed. I'm a person. Silence, then again. Please describe what you are. Paused. Human? A low humming started. Like something big was purring, then the lights went out again, and voice whispered, not through the speaker, but inside my head. I woke up on my couch again, no sign I'd ever left. My fingernails were dirty. There was soil under them, and something wet at the bottom of my socks, like I'd been walking barefoot in mud. New note on the table. Final phase begins soon. Do not speak of this. So, I'm breaking this rule. I'm posting this here because I don't know how to make it stop. Last night my reflection started lagging, like when I move it takes half a second to follow in. Sometimes it doesn't move at all. I don't think the observation's about learning what I am. I think it's deciding if I deserve to be, and I think it's almost done watching. I gotta know what happens in phase 3. You cannot leave me off at phase 2. How dare you? How dare thine? Damn it. Damn it. How dare thine? God, I, what happens in phase 3? Hmm. Very well. Yeah, down to the last one. Oh, then. Let's get to work. On to the last one. And sadly, this will be the last one of the stream because I don't have permission from anyone else if I could keep reading any more. I mean, I'm sure if I were to find others and give them credit, I'm sure I'll be able to get by. But I have been told already by some people that to not just do it. There's no phase 3. Oh, god damn. Yeah, I've been told by some people that I shouldn't just read things. So seems like until I can get permission from another story writer, this will be the final story for tonight. I thought I thought it would be able to last longer. Gotta be able to get the full 2 hours. But I can't, beggars can be choosers. And there's no, how dare you, there's no phase 3. I'm sorry, I'm upset about that. How dare thine. You do a good job at leaving them off at cliffhangers, and I want to know what happens next. And I'm sure I'll never find out. But like, come on, man, why before phase 3? This phase 3. YouTube is your best bet. Maybe for story reading, for narration, sure, maybe. I still post these onto YouTube. The reason I post them live first and then I get them to YouTube is because I don't have an editing software, nor do I know how to edit, nor do I have the time for it. So I find it easier to just stream, have you get